and getting the nail prep is to go ahead and push your cuticles back. Now, if you want, you can use a cuticle softener prior to pushing it back if you would like. But just make sure you apply it around the cuticle area and just simply take your cuticle pusher and push your cuticles back. We're just going to pretend as if this is the natural nail and not a tip added onto the finger. You want to go in with your nail file and just simply take the shine off of your natural nail bed, including the tip. Okay, now again, we're acting like this is a natural nail, okay, not a nail with a tip extension. If you are adding tip extensions, you would still want to get the shine off of your natural nail prior to gluing on a nail tip. Take a nail brush and simply just get all of that extra dust off of the nail. At this point, you want to go ahead and dehydrate the nail bed, and this step is just going to aid in additional oil removal from the nails. And if you want, you can use a specified dehydrating nail product, or you could just simply go in with some alcohol or an alcohol wipe. Okay, I'm going to use a lint-free wipe right here. And I actually have my alcohol in a spray bottle, and I'm just going to wipe the nail bed down. Okay, now for a quick tip, if you are applying nail tips to have an extension of your natural nail, then what you will want to do is just simply apply your nail tips and then dehydrate your nail. Prime your nail bed. Okay, now if you are applying tips to your nails, you don't have to worry about priming the actual tip area, but just the natural nail bed. And you will want to use any nail primer of choice. Just make sure the primer that you use is not just for acrylic nails, but that it would actually work for UV or LED gel nail application. You want to go ahead and grab your products, and what I'm going to use is the Sheba Nails Gelcrylic Gel. This is the LED UV formula, which means it is soak off. And the first powder I'm going to grab is my Gelcrylic powder in white. And then to also aid in getting this on my nail, I'm going to use this little plastic spatula, okay? Another option that you could use is your cuticle pusher, because it does have a wider surface, so it'll allow you to pick up more powder. Take your primer and apply 2 coats to the natural nail bed, okay? So as I stated, we're going to pretend like this is a full-on natural nail, but if you are wearing tips, you do not have to prime the tip, just simply the natural nail bed. And be careful about getting it on the side walls and your cuticle area. You don't want to get your primer on there. You want to let it dry in between coats, and once it's chalky, then it's time to move on to the next step. So we're going to let this dry a little bit, apply a second coat, and then we'll move on to applying our products. And I'm going to take my Sheba Nails Gelcrylic Gel, the LED UV version, and we're simply going to apply this to the free edge of the nail, okay? And that will be anywhere the nail extends past the nail bed. And just make sure you go very slowly with this, capping the sides and the tip of the nail, okay? Once you've gotten the gel applied to the tip of your nail, you want to take the spatula and the white powder, and you want to just simply sprinkle this all over the area where that gel was applied, okay? You don't have to worry about it sticking anywhere else on your nail, because this powder will only stick to the gel. Once you've gotten the powder applied to the tip of the nail, you could just simply take your own hand, flip it over, and tap it off. If you have a client's hand, whatever it is that you're using, you want to just turn their hand over and just tap off any excess powder, okay? Now it's time to go ahead and cure the first layer. So I'm going to use an LED lamp. If you're using an LED lamp, you can let the first layer cure for 30 to 60 seconds. I like to cure mine for 30 seconds for the first layer. And if you're using a UV lamp, then you will want to make sure that the first layer cures for 1 minute. Make sure that while your hands are curing, that you close up your gel and you move it away from the light, because you don't want to take any chances of curing it inside of the bottle. Using your Gelcrylic gel, go in and recap where you placed the white. So you just want to take your brush and follow the same smile line that you created with the white powder the first time. Again, remember to either turn your hand over and tap the powder over, or your client's hand over and tap the additional powder off. And then you're wanting to cure the second layer. If you're using an LED lamp, cure it for 60 seconds. If you're using a UV lamp, cure it for 2 minutes. Now it's time to go ahead and work on the nail bed. Now let me show you an example of one that I've done already. This one was actually using the concealer Peach Fuzz Gelcrylic powder, and it looks like this. As you can see, this one definitely has more peach than the pink that we're going to use in today's video. So with getting close to but not actually touching the cuticle area, you want to go ahead and apply your Gelcrylic gel to your nail bed and bring it up to the actual line that we first made, but you don't want to go over. You're just putting this pink powder on the rest of the nail that's not covered. You're going to make yourself a pink nail bed. Go ahead and sprinkle the pink on to the nail bed. Everywhere that you place that clear gel at is where you want to go ahead and sprinkle this pink powder onto. As always, make sure you flip the nail or the hand over and tap the excess powder off. Now it's time to go ahead and cure this layer in your LED or UV lamp. In my LED lamp, I'm actually going to cure this first layer for 30 seconds. If you're using a UV lamp, cure yours for 1 minute. I'll go over the nail bed again with the gel. Sprinkle the powder on the nail bed again. Make sure that at all times you are double checking to see if there's any product on the side walls or your edges. If so, you just want to simply brush it off with a cuticle stick or a orange wood stick prior to curing it, okay? So go ahead, do that. Flip your hand over, tap the excess powder off, and now you want to go ahead and cure this in your LED lamp for 60 seconds, or if you're using a UV lamp, cure it in your UV lamp for 2 minutes. It's time to prep the nail for the final layer, okay? So what I like to do is file my nail, make sure that the shaping and everything is still right. You know that with the powder, because you are adding layers, the shape tends to get off a little bit. So go ahead and file your nail and make sure that the shape and everything is still fine. Another thing that I like to do, because we're doing 2 separate parts of the nail, to kind of make them more uniform, I like to take a little buffing block, and I just simply take that buffing block and go over the entire nail. What this is going to do is ensure that the nail does blend evenly and that there's no lumps or bumps or anything. Now the gel is self-leveling, so you won't have too much of it, but you are still putting a powder on top of it. So just to have it really pretty and professional looking, this is the step that I like to take. You don't want to do too much, but just enough so that everything is nicely blended. After I've gotten that buff really smooth and made sure that when I run my finger over the nail, it does not feel like 2 separate products was applied to the nail. It actually feels very smooth and soft. I just take my little nail brush off the excess dust, and now you're just going to take your Gelcrylic gel And you're simply going to apply this all over that nail. You can go in with 1 or 2 layers. I like to actually go in with 2. So this first layer, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to make sure that, again, I cover the entire nail surface, making sure to get the sides and to cap my free edge as well. You want to go ahead and cure this in your LED lamp for 60 seconds. If you're using a UV lamp, let this layer cure for 2 minutes. Just want to go in one more time, and this one layer is more for added strength than anything. It's not really for more shine, it's just really just for the added strength. So I'm gonna just go in with one more layer. You don't have to, but I'm going to. And then I'm going to allow this to cure in my LED lamp for 60 seconds. If you have a UV lamp, then you go ahead and cure it for 2 minutes. It's now time to take what's called the dispersion layer or the tacky layer off. And you can use an alcohol wipe to do this, or you can do like I'm going to do and use a lint-free wipe. And I have my alcohol inside of a spray bottle. So I'm just simply going to take my lint-free wipe and pat down my nail to take off that sticky layer. And then what you're going to be left with is a nice shiny hard pink and white nail. The little bit of cuticle oil, this is the Sheba Nails Botanical Oil, and you want to make sure that you do hydrate the cuticle bit after doing all of this, because you have dried them out just a bit. You know, you want to make sure that they are healthy and definitely well moisturized. Over here we have the pink and the white Gelcrylic powders. And then over here we have the concealer peach and the white Gelcrylic powders. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to post them below, and I'll make sure that I answer them to the best of my ability. And as always, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, dolls. Have a gorgeous day. Smooches. Mwah. Bye.